Hey guys, how's it going? Mr. Mitchell here. In this video we're going to go over 4 worked examples to show you how to do problems involving Newton's law of universal gravitation. Now if you haven't already done so, check out my previous video covering the theory on this topic, and that way you can apply what you learned in that video to this one. So let's get started. Question 1 says that if the moon has a mass of 7.35 times 10 to the 22 kilograms and has a distance of 384,400 kilometers from the Earth, calculate the force of attraction between the moon and the Earth. And we're told that the mass of the Earth is 5.97 times 10 to the 24 kilograms. Well, writing down what we know from the question, we're trying to find the force F. We know the mass of the moon, which we'll call m subscript capital M, equals 7.35 times 10 to the 22 kilograms. The mass of the Earth, which we'll call m with a subscript capital E, equals 5.97 times 10 to the 24 kilograms. The universal constant of gravitation is G equals 6.67 times 10 to the minus 11 meters cubed per kilogram per second squared. And lastly, the distance is 3.84 times 10 to the 8 meters if we put it into scientific notation. So writing down our equation, we have F equals gm m me over r squared. So instead of using 1s and 2s here, because we know that this is the moon and this is the Earth, I'm just using m and e as our subscripts instead. Substituting in our numbers now, we get 6.67 times 10 to the minus 11 times 7.35 times 10 to the 22 times 5.97 times 10 to the 24 divided by 3.84 times 10 to the 8 squared. Don't forget that square in there when you're putting into your calculator. And if you do that, we should get 1.98 times 10 to the 20 newtons. Question 2 says that 2 asteroids pass each other in space and experience a slight deflection due to the gravitational pull from each body. One has a mass of 259,000 kilograms, whilst the other has a mass of 190,000 kilograms. If both asteroids experience a force of attraction of 4,000 newtons, how far apart are they? Well, in this case we're asked to find what r is, and there's a wee picture of 2 nearby asteroids. So writing down what we know from the question, we're trying to find r. We know that the mass of the first asteroid M1 is 259,000 kilograms, the mass of the second asteroid M2 is 190,000 kilograms, the universal constant of gravitation is always the same, and it is 6.67 times 10 to the minus 11, and lastly we have F of 4,000 newtons. So writing down our equation, we have F equals gm1m2 over r squared, and substituting in our numbers, we get 4,000 equals 6.67 times 10 to the minus 11 times 259,000 times 190,000 divided by r squared. And now the way to get r squared onto the left hand side is you can cross multiply or just swap this thing in the bottom with this thing in the top. So we get r squared equals this whole term divided by 4,000. So if you put that into your calculator, you would get r squared equals 8.2 times 10 to the minus 4, and taking the square root of both sides now should give you r equals 0.03 meters. Question 3 says that a satellite orbits a planet at a distance of 5.0 times 10 to the 7 meters from the centre of the planet. The mass of the planet is 4.0 times 10 to the 24 kilograms. The gravitational force acting on the satellite due to the planet is 2.7 times 10 to the 3 newtons. What is the mass of the satellite? So writing down what we know from the question, we're trying to find m subscript s, the mass of the satellite. And we know the force F is 2.7 times 10 to the 3 newtons. We know that the mass of the planet MP equals 4.0 times 10 to the 24 kilograms. The universal constant of gravitation, 6.6 times 10 to the minus 11 meters cubed per kilogram per second squared. And lastly, r is equal to 5.0 times 10 to the 7 meters. So writing down our equation, we have F equals gms mp over r squared. It doesn't matter which order these m's come in because they're just being multiplied on the numerator anyway. So substituting in our numbers, we get 2.7 times 10 to the 3 equals 6.67 times 10 to the minus 11 times ms times 4.0 times 10 to the 24 divided by 5.0 times 10 to the 7 squared. So in order to get ms on its own, we can firstly cross multiply this term with this term on the denominator, and remember to square that term. So we're doing this times this whole thing, and then we could simplify the numerator of this number here multiplied by this number, and then if we do a division to simplify it further, we end up with ms equals 2.5 times 10 to the 4 kilograms. Lastly, question 4 says that a space probe of mass 5.60 times 10 to the 3 kilograms is in orbit at a height of 3.70 times 10 to the 6 meters above the surface of Mars. So there's Mars and there's the space probe. And it says not to scale, which I think is pretty obvious. The mass of Mars is 6.42 times 10 to the 23 kilograms, and the radius of Mars is 3.39 times 10 to the 6 meters. Part A says to calculate the gravitational force between the probe and Mars. Well, in this case we're given a radius of Mars and we're given the height of the probe above the surface of Mars. So here we need to remember that the value of r in our equation for the gravitational force of attraction between two masses is the distance between the centre of the two masses. So it would be the distance from the centre of Mars to the centre of the space probe. So what we need to do first of all is find r using the radius of Mars and the height of the probe above the surface of Mars. So we can mark that in our diagram to make it a bit clearer. So we've got this distance here from the centre, which we'll call r subscript Mars, and then we've got this horizontal distance from the surface of Mars to the space probe, which we'll call the height. So first of all, to get our r value, we can say that r equals r Mars plus height, which equals 3.39 times 10 to the 6 plus 3.70 times 10 to the 6, which gives a value for r of 7.09 times 10 to the 6 metres. We can then do our usual writing down what we know from the question. So we're trying to find f. We know that m1 is 6.42 times 10 to the 23 kilograms for Mars. We know that m2 is 5.60 times 10 to the 3 kilograms for the probe. G is 6.67 times 10 to the minus 11 meters cubed per kilogram per second squared. And r is 7.09 times 10 to the 6 meters. So writing down our equation, we have f equals gm1m2 over r squared, and substituting in the numbers gives 6.67 times 10 to the minus 11 times 6.42 times 10 to the 23 times 5.60 times 10 to the 3 divided by 7.09 times 10 to the 6 squared. So remember, when you're putting this into your calculator, remember to square that term on the bottom. And if you do that, you should get a value of 4.77 times 10 to the 3 newtons. Or another way of saying that is 4,770 newtons. Lastly, part B says to calculate the gravitational field strength of Mars at this height. And by this height, it means the height of where the probe is. So because of this, we're going to use the mass of the probe since this is at the height of interest. So writing down what we know from the question, we're trying to find small g, which is gravitational field strength. We know the force, which is essentially our weight here, is 4.77 times 10 to the 3 newtons. We've just worked that out. And our mass for the probe is 5.60 times 10 to the 3 kilograms. So writing down our equation, we get F equals mg, which is basically just W equals mg or F equals ma, but with g the gravitational field strength instead of the acceleration a, because it's basically just acceleration due to gravity, which is g. So we get F equals mg, and then we can rearrange for g by dividing both sides by m to get g equals F over m. Substituting in the numbers now gives us 4.77 times 10 to the 3 divided by 5.60 times 10 to the 3, which will give us an answer of less than 1, which comes out as 0.85 newtons per kilogram. That's all for this video, folks. Thanks for watching. If you made it to the end, I really appreciate it. Make sure to give it one of these, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.